Hi, welcome to another Stream Developers video. You can experiment with LLMs locally using GUI-based tools like LLM Studio or command line applications like Ollama. In this video, we look at the 6 best tools for running LLMs locally for your next AI and machine learning projects. So let's get started. Let's begin with why you may want to run LLMs locally. Running LLMs like ChatGPT or Claude usually involves sending data to servers managed by OpenAI or other AI model providers. While all these services are secure, you may want to keep your data entirely offline for greater privacy. Local LLM tools like Jan or LLM Studio provide some advanced customization options. To configure temperature, you can specify whether you want streaming or not. You can set maximum tokens, frequency penalty, and more in a way similar to what the OpenAI Playground provides. These local LLM tools are free to use and they do not require monthly subscriptions. For example, for cloud services like OpenAI, each API request requires payment. So these local LLM tools help you to save money since they do not require any monthly subscriptions. Since they all support offline mode, you can load and connect with large language models without internet. So let's look at the 6 best LLM tools you can use for your next AI projects, starting with LLM Studio. LLM Studio can run any GUF model file. You can use it to test .guf files from model providers like Llama 3.1, Phi3, Mistral, and more. To start using LLM Studio, you should visit their website, llmstudio.ai, and download the version your machine requires. Once you launch LLM Studio, in the home page, you have the option to search for different models from different providers. Let's look at the key features of LLM Studio. On the right sidebar, you can see it supports model parameter customization. This feature allows you to adjust temperature, maximum tokens, frequency penalty, and more. LLM Studio supports chat history, so you can create new chat and also save prompts for later use. From the LLM Studio website, you have noticed here it is a cross-platform app, so you can download it for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Another great feature about LLM Studio is machine specification check. You can check your computer specifications like GPU and memory, and also report on compatible models. This prevents you from downloading a model that might not work on a specific machine. So over here on the right, you can see we have filter by. I have the option set to show all. By switching to compatibility guess, it will show only the models that will work on my machine. This is a great feature because you may not want to download a model that may not work on your machine. With its AI Chat Playground, you can chat with a large language model in a multi-turn chat format and experiment with multiple LLMs by loading them concurrently. Lastly, it has a local inference server, allowing developers to set up a local HTTP server similar to what OpenAI API provides. We can use the local inference server to log API calls from OpenAI using Chainlet. Let's use Chainlet to provide the necessary UI. To test how the local inference server works, let's launch Cursor. I have already created a project for this. I have already set up this project to load my OpenAI API key from a .m file. Here I have created a client that points to the local inference server in LLM Studio. So if I go back to LLM Studio again, you can see that is the same as this URL. Using my OpenAI API key, we can log the API calls in the Chainlet interface. If I scroll down, over here I have defined the Chainlet interface. So I can go ahead and cd into the location of this file and run it with Chainlet run followed by the file name. We can command click the link to the local host and open it in the browser. That launches the Chainlet UI where you can send any prompt. So I'll go back to LLM Studio and start the local server. You can see over here we have the model Llama 3.2 instruct. So let's click start. In the Chainlet UI, you can now see we have Llama 3.2 instruct. The next local LLM tool is Jan. You can think of this tool as an open source version of ChatGPT that runs entirely offline. This tool is built by a community of users with a user-owned philosophy, so it allows you to run models like Mistral or Llama on your device without connecting to the internet. So let's look at its key features. With this tool, you can access remote APIs, It allows you to set up OpenAI compatible local HTTP server. Once you download and install this tool, you get a set of already installed models to start with. So you can see all these models are ready to use. If I scroll up, you can also use the search to find a specific model. Like LLM Studio, it provides a way to customize inference parameters. So you can adjust model parameters like temperature, maximum tokens, frequency penalty, and more. Using this tool, you get a clean and simple interface to interact with LLMs and keep all your data and processing information local. When you download and install the application, you already have over 70 large language models already installed for you to use. Lastly, it has a great GitHub, Hugging Face, and Discord communities to follow and ask for help. So this is everything about Jan and how to use it to run models locally on your machine. Let's move on to the next, Llamafile. So Llamafile is backed by Mozilla, whose aim is to support and make open source AI accessible to everyone using a fast CPU inference with no network access. So let's look at its key features. Unlike the other LLM tools like LLM Studio or Jan, Llamafile requires only one executable file to run LLMs locally. It also allows you to use existing local LLM tools like Ollama and LLM Studio. Using this tool, you can access popular LLMs from OpenAI, Mistral, and more. You can also use it to create your own model from scratch. Using Llamafile, you can convert the file format of any popular LLM, for example, .gov model, into .llama-file with a single command. For example, you can convert a Mistral 7b gov model into Llama-file with the command llama-file convert mistral 7b.gov. To install Llama-file, you can go to Hugging Face. In the search, you specify Llama-file and select any of these models. Once you select one of them, you can click Files, Control and click any of these and select the option Copy Link Address. Here you can select any of these files depending on what you are looking for. Then, if you have the wget utility installed on your machine, you can download Llama-file with this command. Next, after downloading a particular version of Llama-file, you should make it executable using the following command by navigating to the location of the file. After navigating to the location of the file, we can prepend a period and a / to the file name to launch Llama-file. So you can see over here, I have a period and a / before the file name. Once you do that, you can now run the command in the terminal. The Llama.cpp app will now be ready at your local host at port 8080 to run your various models. Our fourth local LLM tool is GPT-4o. As compared to the other tools, GPT-4o has more monthly downloads, GitHub stars, and active users. Let's look at its key features, starting with models exploration. This feature allows you to browse and download different kinds of LLMs to experiment with. You can select from more than 1,000 language models, from popular options like Llama, Mistral, and more. GPT-4o has local document support. With the local document support, you can let your local LLM access your sensitive data with local documents like PDF and text, without any data leaving your device and without using a network. There are several customization options that provides chatbot adjustment options like changing temperature, batch size, context length, and more. GPT-4o also has Enterprise Edition, which provides an enterprise package with security, support, and per device licenses. To get started with GPT-4o, first you have to download it. Over here there are different versions, so you can download it for Mac, Windows, and Ubuntu. I have already downloaded the Mac version, so I will launch the app again. Under Chats, we can create a new chat. Under Models, you have noticed I have already downloaded Llama 3.2, and the same model is showing on top of the UI. So using the chat composer, we can add any prompt and send it. So that is all about GPT-4o. Let's move on to the next, Ollama. Using Ollama, you can create local chatbots without connecting to APIs like OpenAI API. And since everything runs locally on your machine, you do not need to pay for any subscription fees. Let's look at some key features of Ollama. Ollama allows you to convert gov model files and run them with Ollama run followed by the model name. It also has a large collection of models to try at Ollama.com/library. It supports importing of models from libraries like PyTorch. There are more other features of Ollama. I encourage you to check the article in the description of this video to learn more. So to get started with Ollama, you can come to Ollama.com and download the version your machine requires. So you can see here, you can install it for Mac, Linux, and Windows. After installing Ollama, you can check the version installed in the command line with the command Ollama. So you can see here, we have all this information. To run any model using Ollama, we have to pull the model. To pull any model, we can use the command Ollama pull. For example, we want to pull Llama 3.1. For more model names, you can visit GitHub, that is github.com/Ollama. If you scroll down, you can find some model names here. For example, we have Llama 3.2, Llama 3.1, and more. So in our case, we are going to pull Llama 3.1. That is what I entered in the terminal. So I'm going to press enter. You have noticed here that was successful. So we have now downloaded Llama 3.1. The next thing we need to do is to run it with Ollama Run Llama 3.1. That will take some time. So you have noticed here, we now have an option to send a new message. So I'm going to paste this prompt and press the return key. So this is how to download and use Ollama to run models locally on your machine. Let's move on to the last local LLM tool, that is Llama.cpp. Llama.cpp is the underlying backend technology that powers local LLM tools like Ollama and many others. It supports large amount of large language model inferences with minimal configuration and excellent local performance on various hardware. You can also run Llama.cpp in the cloud. So let's look at some key features of Llama.cpp. So Llama.cpp has a minimal setup. You can install it with a single command. It performs very well on various hardware locally, as well as in the cloud. Llama.cpp also supports popular and major LLMs like Mistral and Falcon. To get started with Llama.cpp, you can launch the terminal and run the command blue install Llama.cpp to install the app. Next, you can go to Hugging Face and search for any good file. You can see over here, we are under the model card. You can see we have different versions. So you can download any of these files. If I hover on any of the files and look at the bottom of the page, you can see we have the file format in .gguf. So you can download any of these files and try it with Llama.cpp. I have already downloaded one. So if I go to my downloads folder, you can see I have Mistral 7b instruct.gguf. Next, in the terminal, I will go to my downloads folder and run this command. So in summary, we first invoke the Llama CLI tool and set color and other flags. So we have the M flag, which specifies the path of the model you want to run. Then we have the P flag, which specifies the prompt you want to use to instruct the model. So I'll now go ahead and run the command. So that is everything we have in this video. I have shown you the 6 best LLM tools to run models locally. You can use these local LLM tools for several use cases. For example, you can use them to sort patients' documents in a telemedicine app without having to upload any data to an external API. Also, there are more other local LLM tools I did not cover in this video. If you know one of these tools, you can mention it in the comment section. There are also several features of the various local LLM tools I did not mention in this video. We have an extensive article that covers all the various features, so you can check it in the description of the video. Thank you for taking time to watch this video to the end.